If making gender equality a business priority is a goal of yours, you can do an awful lot to accomplish that. And what we really want to see is that everybody has an opportunity to participate, that everybody has an opportunity to contribute their creativity, their talent, their passion towards a company's progress. And so we're not talking about setting formal targets, or we're certainly not talking about doing things that would disadvantage men. What we're really trying to make sure is that we're setting the table for a more equal workforce. When a company has more inclusion, more gender balance, more gender equality in the workforce, that business produces better results. And that's been confirmed by many scale studies, including Peterson Institute for International Economics. They actually surveyed over 21,000 public companies, and you can see that those companies that have greater gender equality produce more profitability and growing profitability. Equally, McKinsey put out a study recently, and what they showed is that companies that are in the top quartile of gender balance and gender equality have 21% better financial results. The question is, when we know these results are not debatable, that gender equality helps a business perform, why aren't we making faster progress? Why are there still so few women in the senior leadership ranks of businesses? And what our study found is 79% of the over 2,300 companies we surveyed said gender equality is not yet a business priority. If you want to, say, launch a new product line or develop a market overseas or increase profit margins, you're going to publish it, you're going to hold people accountable, you're going to set goals. Well, we need to do the same for gender equality. We need to make sure that they're holding their teams accountable to make progress. What we find is that employees look up, and they look up to their leaders. And when companies include gender inclusion, and when they include that in a top business priority, it lets everybody know that this is important, that every leader should be thinking about, what can I do to make sure that my team is more inclusive? What can I do to make sure that there's more women represented, and that there's more women's voices being heard? What can I do to make sure things like pay equity and opportunity are present for everybody? We know that all of our companies and all of us as individuals still hold bias. That's true. So part of what we need to do is make sure that we're attacking bias where it exists, exposing it, and all learning how to get better. One thing that's holding women back at a lot of companies is there still is this bias. For example, when asked, male leaders said, 2/3 of them said that their career trajectory would have been the same or better had they been born women. Equally, about 80% of them said that their pay would have been as good or better had they been a woman. And of course, we know what the stats are in pay equities. And so one of the biggest challenges to culture change is making sure we're doing the hard work of examining our own bias and really overcoming some of that so that we can see a more inclusive workforce.